morning, YouTube. This is Righteous Teacher. I'm having a little problems with the YouTube, but it's my first time doing it, so I'm trying to, master the problem so that I can keep on trying to help as I started. Okay, so we already learned. We're gonna go straight into it. We already learned, and I pray and I thank everybody that viewed. I thank everybody that has subscribed, all the subscribers. I thank you very much. I appreciate it, and may we continue on our journey together. Okay, so we're gonna go into this is the third broadcast. It's now called Break Upward after love. I had to change the name from Breaking Up After Love to Break Upward After Love. So it's now called Break Upward After Love because of rules and regulations. Okay, so this time we're going to go into self-examination, because remember, we're trying to get ourselves, we're trying to find out where the problem in our relationships is coming from. Whether it's mother and father, whether it's the children, brother and sister, mother and daughter, we having problems in our relationships, so we're trying to get to the bottom of it. So we first went into the elements, and we seen how the elements break down and they become new elements, where I got the word break up from break upward. You know what I'm saying? They break upward because they become new elements. And as I said before, we too can become new people because we are made up of these elements. We made up of these atoms. So therefore, whatever is happening in the atom is happening inside of us. So we can become new people. Okay, so today we're going to go into self-examination. Okay, so self means an individual known or considered as the subject of his own consciousness. His own consciousness. Anything considered as having a distinct personality. Anything that maintains a distinct characteristic, individuality, or identity. See, so we're now going into self-examination. So we finding out that self means anything that maintains a distinct characteristics. And we get our characteristics. If you would study your DNA, you could see that inside your DNA is where you get your characteristics from, and your DNA comes from your family line, your parents, your uncles, your aunts. It comes from your family line. So you have to, that's why the subject is called self-examination, because you now want to study the characteristics. Characteristics is pertaining to character. Character is reputation. An individual considered as possessing a combination of distinctive features. But let's go with reputation. Character means reputation, right? So now we have to look back. We all have reputations. We all have reputations. So now we have to look back to find out what our reputations. Now we have to study. We got to study our past relationships. We have to study our parents. We got to study how many relationships our parents have been in. This is all hard information. I understand. It's not to hurt you. It's not to hurt you. It's to get you to look into yourself. Why? Because you love the person that you're with. You love this person. You want to, and this person is constantly telling you that you may be doing something wrong to them. How will we know if we refuse to study our characteristics? If we refuse to study our DNA and look into it to see what it is that we might be doing. What it is that we might be doing to cause the problems in our relationship. See, what we're not doing anymore is that we're not pointing the finger. We're not sitting around going, no, it's you, it's you, it's you. No, that's just a waste of time. That creates an argument. That creates more problems. It creates more problems because then the person that's trying to tell you, and they may be telling you in the wrong way. They may be, I have been a victim of that. I have, not a victim, but I have been guilty of that, of telling a person the wrong way, as well as being a victim, where somebody telling me what I'm doing, but they telling me in the wrong way. And most times it can't connect. They say the louder you talk to somebody, the less they can hear you. That may sound funny, but when you yelling at somebody, they cannot hear you. Even if you yelling at your child, you trying to tell your child what they need to do and you're yelling at them, they not going to hear you. The words have to, see, the truth is going to hurt regardless. No matter, even if you lower your voice and even if you use the prettiest, beautifulest words, it's still going to hurt because it is the truth, plain and simple. So you don't have to yell the truth. You don't have to scream the truth. You don't have to use curses, bad words with the truth, because it's gonna hurt regardless. And what you doing actually is you're making it worse, because when the person go and sit by themselves, they're gonna understand what you're telling them, but what they're gonna remember is how you said it. That's what they're going to remember, and that's what they're not going to forgive. That's what's going to make them keep going on and on and on, because it's how you said it. What you're saying is true. What they're saying to you is true. But it's how we're saying it that even as we sit down and we say, you know what, I do got to stop doing this, but she shouldn't have said it this way, or he shouldn't have cursed at me, or she shouldn't have cursed at me. You know, that's the part that the brain doesn't forget. So you can say it in the most nicest words because the truth is going to hurt. So now let's go to, we went through self, and self is anything that maintains a distinct characteristics. We have characteristics. We need to look at them. We have characteristics mean a reputation. We need to find out what our reputation is. What's our limit for relationships? We get into the relationship, it's nice, it goes well, but what's our limit? We got to look back at our reputation and say, well, if you had about 3 relationships, this one lasted 2 years, that one lasted 2.5 years, that one lasted 3 years. Some people 1 year, some people 6 months. So you have to study self. That's why this is called, again, self-examination. To examine means to inspect or scrutinize with care. You see what I'm saying? What's the key words? With care. We don't scrutinize with care. Most of the time we telling somebody what they doing, we're not doing it with care. We're hurting them, and we're hurting them even more than they already are. So they have this saying that hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. The reason why somebody is hurting you, because they're already hurt. So in truth, there's no need to compound the pain. This person is already in pain. That's why they're doing what they're doing. That's why their characteristics are the way that they are. That's why their reputation is the way that they are. Somebody has already been hurt, and usually it's at the child age. It's the age between when the baby was born, depend on what kind of thoughts that the mother had, the DNA from the father. So pain is already there, and we all messed up. We all messed up. Nobody can say that they better than nobody. Nobody can say that they better than nobody. If somebody tells you that they are better than anybody else, they are wrong. Get away from this person. This person got a lot to search within themselves, because nobody should say I'm better than the next person. So again, to examine means to scrutinize means to, wait a minute, let me slow down. Examine means to inspect or scrutinize with care. I'm trying to move fast because I know that, you know what I'm saying, we all have a lot to do, and I don't want to bore you. I don't want to bore you. It also means to investigate, and to investigate critically, to test by questioning. Now, to test by questioning, most times the person that's doing the wrong in the relationship, when you question them, the first thing that they do is they go off on you. They go off 1 to 1,000 real fast. Some may even tell you, don't question me. Okay, this should let you know. Okay, this is going to be difficult for the person that's doing the questioning to say, you know what? I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to fight, because I'm self-examining. You're examining yourself. Once you examine yourself and you find out that these things that's wrong within inside of yourself, you finding out the elements that's inside of yourself and how the elements are making you work. you're becoming a better person. You're becoming a new person. So when you do ask this person this question and they go off, you don't have to argue. You don't have to fight. The fact that they going off is allowing you to know that they are wrong. So you don't need, at that moment, you need to desist. You need to cease. You need to step back a little bit. Find a different way. Because if we talking about love here. We saying that you love this person. So you're not going to get mad and say, oh, okay, they don't want to answer the questions. They going off. Well, I'm going to go do what I want to do. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. There's no sense in damaging yourself when you are now in the realm or in the level of self-examination. You're examining yourself. So therefore, you don't have to go off with this, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go off along with the person and make the situation even worse, because then we become just as much the problem than the person. You see what I'm saying? And then we give them a reason to continue doing what they're doing, even though they say they're not doing it. Okay, so to scrutinize, scrutiny means the act of scrutinizing, close investigation. Critically means disposed to judge or discriminate with care. Again, judge or discriminate with care and precision. So it's not that we can't judge, but if you judging with in a violent way, you judging in a convicting way, you're not judging that this person could help themselves. This person, you're not saying, baby, it's some things that's wrong, or mom, we need to talk, or daddy, can I talk with you? Or son, can I talk with you? Daughter, can I talk with you? No, we come right in. And it's violent. The way we telling this person what they're doing is violent. Nobody wants to hear that. You don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to hear that. We'll all fight. It's something about the mind that when we're doing something wrong and when we're guilty, we don't want to hear it. But if a person comes to us with care, you got to go with care. If your children having problems in school and they don't know what it is, you have to go to them with care. Sometimes you can't always beat. You can't always do that, because the problem is not physical. You beating the butt, you spanking the child, beating the child, but you're not getting to the bottom of the problem. The problem is not the physical body. The problem is that something is going wrong in the child's mind. So we have to go to them with care. You got to go to the person that you with care. Allow them to see this video so that they can know that they have to come to you with care. Whoever the one that's learning first, they have to be the one to start it off. Don't be the type of person to say, well, if she not doing it, I ain't doing it. Or if he not doing it, I ain't doing it. Don't be that type of person, because then you're responsible. How can you say you're not responsible when you refuse? If you say the relationship need to change and you see the things that the other person is doing, why won't you be the one that change first? Everything is action, reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. So if you stop reacting, then you won't be part of the problem anymore. The person can't say you said nothing wrong, because why? Again, you're examining self. You're examining self. You're looking at yourself first. You seeing what it is that you're doing. You studying your family history. You studying your mother. You studying your father with love, with care. Doesn't mean that you hate them. I love my mother. My mother passed away when I was 18 years old. But all the things that I was doing wrong, I now had to look back at my mother. Doesn't mean I'm disliking her. I'm loving her even more, actually. And now I'm extracting the things that I was taught wrong, and I'm all the things that she taught me is now coming to me in purity, so that I can take the negative things out. Did she know she had negative things? Of course not. Did your father know he has negative things? Of course not. See? So you can't get angry. In truth, you really can't get angry with people who don't know. They don't know. It's not until they find out and they begin to study the atoms and study their DNA and their family. Then now they can say, oh, okay. Now I understand what you're talking about. Some of us have drinking problems. Some of us have smoking problems. Some of us, we got problems, and we look back at our parents or somebody around us. Somebody influenced us to do the things that we are doing. Remember, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Maybe you have to wait. We should go back and look at these videos again so that we can look at them in a line. So that we can see again, born in sin, shaped in iniquity. We could look again at the atoms. We could look again at, self-examination, and we can change ourselves. It can happen. It can happen. Never say the person who says it can't happen shouldn't stop the person who says it can. If somebody telling you that things could be better and you sitting there saying no, 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 then you gotta know that you are the problem. If somebody is saying we could have a better relationship and you saying no, 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 you got to know that you're the problem. If somebody's saying we can open up a business and you saying no, 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 you got to know that you're the problem. So I'm going to leave it at that. Peace and blessings. As I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comment box and I will get back to them. But again, I want to thank you for listening, and I pray that, I pray that all goes well in your relationship. All right. Peace and blessings.